Greetings. I have found a very important article about monoatomic gold. Title of it is Monoatomic Gold, Is It a Danger to Your Health? Authored or posted by Chang, updated on December 7, 2016. Many people are claiming that monoatomic gold, also known as monoatomic gold or white powder gold, holds the key to health, energy, and longevity. But is monoatomic gold even real? According to some archaeologists and scientists, this exotic white powder gold is real and was used by certain ruling class of the Egyptians, Sumerians, Babylonians, and secret societies for esoteric rituals and to increase vitality and longevity. Many researchers of occultism believe that monoatomic gold is still being used for esoteric rituals by secret societies of today. What is monoatomic gold? Monoatomic elements such as monoatomic gold are made of single atoms not bound to one another. One strange and exotic property of monoatomic gold is that when heated to certain temperatures, it becomes very light, even to the point where it produces anti-gravity properties. For this reason, understanding how monoatomic gold works may hold some of the keys to unlocking the secrets of anti-gravity and superluminal technology. As mentioned at Blue Emerald Alchemy.com, the center of the periodic chart of elements consists of what are known as the transition elements, meaning that they can transit from metallic to monatomic or diatomic via chemical treatment or through other means. Between parentheses, what some would refer as shadow chemistry between commas, or arcane between commas, or even alchemy between commas. Take gold for instance. When you have two or more gold atoms in a microcluster, it will have metallic properties. But if you have only one atom, it will then have ceramic properties, which means that it becomes chemically inert, but at the same time will have superconductive capabilities even at room temperature. The weight of these amazing materials can also change by heating, becoming lighter even to the point of levitation. Because it is chemically inert, it can be ingested for health, well-being, and super energy at the cellular level. End of the quote from BlueEmeraldAlchemy.com. Conventional science is aware of 6 phases of matter, which are gas, liquid, solid, plasma, Bose-Einstein condensate, and liquid crystal. What conventional science isn't aware of yet, or doesn't want to accept, are monatomic elements. Those monatomic elements are only a few examples of many other phases of matter that are yet to be discovered. Monatomic elements are sometimes referred to as orbitally rearranged monatomic elements. According to Jim Morris, Orm actually means the tree of life, between commas in Hebrew. This could be why some people like to associate monatomic gold or white powder gold with immortality. The relationship between microclusters and monatomic elements In the late 1980s, some nuclear physicists discovered that the atoms of certain elements were arranged in microclusters. Those microclusters are very tiny groups of atoms ranging from 2 to several hundred atoms. In certain metals, when a specific number of atoms is present in a microcluster, the atoms will rearrange themselves into a lattice structure with metallic properties. However, if fewer than that critical number of atoms is present, the microcluster will disaggregate into monoatomic atoms with ceramic properties. These microclusters can also be detected in water. Since monoatomic elements are atoms that aren't arranged in a rigid lattice pattern, their physical characteristics are quite different from elements with atoms that are arranged in a rigid lattice network. In other words, the physical characteristic of an element isn't only determined by the number of neutrons and protons, but also its microcluster or grouping of atoms. For example, in a metallic element, if there is a lattice network present, there is no physical metal, even if its atoms are identical to a metallic element with a lattice network. This example shows that the determining factors of the characteristics of matter are not limited to the numbers of neutrons and protons in atoms. According to scientists, the critical number of atoms for gold is 2, and the critical number of atoms for rhodium is 9. The significance of this critical number is that when there are 2 or more gold atoms in a microcluster, the gold will exhibit metallic characteristics. In rhodium, when there are 9 or fewer atoms in a microcluster, the atoms will degrade to become a group of monoatomic atoms. Scientists believe that the valence electrons of monoatomic elements are unavailable for chemical reactions, and thus monoatomic atoms are chemically inert. As a result, it is currently impossible to use standard analytical chemistry techniques to study and identify properties of monoatomic atoms. This is why monoatomic elements are remained hidden for so long. With our current technology, the best way to detect a monoatomic element is to first convert it from its monatomic state to its normal state, allowing it to be detected with conventional scientific instruments. The health effects of monoatomic gold. Monoatomic gold displays physical characteristics that are very different than its metallic form, which are still being studied by certain physicists. Therefore, many of the properties of monoatomic gold are still unknown to the public. However, some scientists have proclaimed that this white powder gold has a fluorescent-like glow and superconductive properties. Its superconductive properties are some of the reasons why it has the power of levitation. According to some historians, the Sumerians and Egyptians believed that the white powder gold could encourage spiritual transformation and increase energy and longevity because of its exotic healing effects on the body, brain, and pineal gland. Certain scientists have also found that monoatomic gold has very strange and mystical properties because they believe it can alter time and space. Could this be why monoatomic elements are used in superconductors? Some monoatomic gold experts have made the claim that when monoatomic gold is consumed or injected into the body, it can increase the current functional capacity of the nervous system by 10,000 times. If this is accurate, consuming monoatomic gold would allow the system of the body to operate a lot faster. It is like turning the body from a regular computer to a supercomputer. Some monoatomic gold experts even suggest that white powder gold is needed to allow the body to travel to other dimensions. They also suggested that it has amazing healing properties due to its ability to raise the frequency of cells, allowing them to carry large amounts of light energy. The dangers of monoatomic gold. My understanding of monoatomic gold is that it does allow your body to operate at a level beyond ordinary conditions and give you a great boost of energy. However, in the long run, consuming too much of it can cause side effects for the reason that the current state of the human body can't handle high concentration of energy running through its biocircuitry. The side effects of white powder gold is similar to the side effects of drugs. The more you ingest it, the more your body depends on it. In the long run, ingesting too much monoatomic gold may affect your health in negative ways. To reduce the negative effects of monoatomic gold, consume it in amounts that your body can handle. If you are planning to take monoatomic white powder gold supplements to improve your health, pay attention to how your body reacts to them. If your body responds with major negative side effects after taking white powder gold, you should stop ingesting it. Keep in mind that not all monoatomic gold supplements are created equally. Popular monoatomic gold supplements. There are many monoatomic gold supplements on the market. 3 of them that have good reviews are Inner Gold, Monoatomic Gold, 4 Realms Monoatomic Gold, and Ethereum Gold. Avoid buying the cheap monoatomic gold supplements because they are low quality and often do not work as well as they claim. And the sources are included in the article, and I will put the link in the video description. It was updated December of 2016. Author or post by Chang. Monoatomic gold, is it a danger to your health? Now I want to add that you need to consider also if you have health issues. You need to consider that in the equation also, because like I told somebody, since the Anunnaki came to take all of the gold of planet Earth and make the human beings work on gold mines, what kind of residual white gold powder do they allow us to have? Because this monoatomic gold is not from another planet, right? So keep in mind that it is what it remains. It is what is left. I think they are allowing us just to have what falls from the table. And so plus again you need to consider your health and health troubles and how monoatomic gold is interacting with your health issues, because there is no researches about that. You cannot research on, okay, let's say the benefits of monoatomic gold for people who are dealing with chronic fatigue, for instance. And by the way, that's the reason why I looked into monoatomic gold in the first place. But, you know, you need to be not too enthusiastic and not be too much, not wear pink glasses over this, because as you know, everything that is available you need to consider with caution. And I think this also includes monoatomic gold from the Anunnaki, supposedly. Yeah, this is what is written in some, the way it is advertised in some places. It is advertised as monoatomic gold from the Anunnaki. How in the world they are allowing us to have this, and if they do, what kind of quality do we have? Of course, it is residual, because all that was worth of something, they plunder it already. So be very cautious if you want to take monetary gold for your health, especially if you have health issues. And this is my case. I approached this because I wanted to heal myself, but need to consider everything in the equation. And you also need to consider that you are by yourself. Let's say that you have heart issues, and you're taking monoatomic gold, and you end up in the emergency. You're by yourself meaning that the doctors will wonder why in the world you're taking monoatomic gold, because it is not tested over time. Maybe in 10 years, so that enough people would have taken it, so that we would have more information about the effects on the health of people, because it is not available to us since centuries, right? So we don't have empirical studies telling us, okay, for this type of problems you can take monoatomic gold. So be careful. There are health issues that are serious enough that you cannot take just whatever is on the market. You have to first use your head. I want to add some interesting comments. PhD in chemistry says, really levitation, huh? What about the unicorn ride and transcendence to LSD heaven? Does that come with the magic fairy dust? I'm a chemist in the real world. You know, the one with laws of physics? Even the most radical quantum physics theories don't come close to this woo. Please don't listen to these pseudoscience cranks. I'm not even going to waste my time refuting this nonsense, but just how exactly do the valence electrons become unavailable? Or how the hell would this even remotely affect biological processes? Oh, it must be the space-time altering crank properties. I have a headache now. I must leave before it explodes. Matthew says, you're not a doctor nor a chemist. The first tip I got was your grammar, then the substance of your comment. Any real chemist would know that metals such as iron, zinc, colloidal silver, and gold have benefits to your physical makeup. The fact that we have the presence of some of these elements in our body should be a clue that we as humans have a responsibility to maintain the integrity of our complex system. You take vitamins, right? If so, you know that people sometimes require a specialized regimen for administration. I will agree that monoatomic gold is harmful if used improperly or administered with ignorance. I will add to what just said Matthew. Why is monoatomic gold and other elements such as he mentioned iron, zinc, colloidal silver, and monoatomic gold? Why is this not, instead of ingesting directly, why it is not when people are growing the food, why it is not spread instead of having those chemicals spread? Because as we know, chemicals are very bad for us. So why don't they use that instead of people having to ingest monoatomic gold directly? I would think it would be more proper use of the information to spread it on the lands where vegetables are growing. Then Peter without a E says to Matthew point is monoatomic gold is a scientific impossibility under normal conditions and under standard temperature and pressure. It is, however, achievable when gold is vaporized, high temperature, high pressure. Have you ever heard of Van der Waals force of holophilic bond? These forces are intermolecular between molecules between commas and are considered weak between commas forces, yet they are enough to clump all vaporized monoatomic gold once it is returned to a non-vaporized state. Moreover, then strong between commas intermolecular forces come into play, i.e. metallic bond between commas delocalized communal electron deficient covalent bond. At this stage, all monoatomic gold has formed itself into a metallic lattice at standard temperature and pressure between parentheses. Once again, there is no such thing as monoatomic gold under normal or standard conditions. So, also Fat Albert said, many Native Americans strongly advise against using monoatomic gold or humus between commas cause it ultimately damages a person's DNA. LSD type drugs will also damage your DNA, and as with any drug, the damage done is usually irreversible. Now, if you want to go and take a chance between commas on that, be my guest. You've been warned. If you one day wake up crazed and blind in a psychiatric ward, you will remember that you were once warned. But that is your destiny. You can drink that stuff all day long. And then Monoatomic Gold said, do you have any real evidence or proof of anyone taking monoatomic gold and encountering the effects you speak of? I will add to what Fat Albert said. I don't know about what he said, okay? I just read what he said, but I will add to what he said that gold by itself is poison, meaning not the particles of gold, meaning let's say you ingest, let's say you take your jewels and then you make a liquid from it, you heat it up and make liquid and drink and you will die. And so that would not surprise me that it damages the monoatomic gold, the white powder. I would not be surprised that it damages a person's DNA because of that. Again, I think the best way to ingest that would not be directly the minerals that we have naturally, to add them to the crops instead of chemical products. I think would be a better solution than to directly ingest monoatomic gold and other substances such as zinc and other things. That person who said he was a chemist, any real chemist would know that metals such as iron, zinc, colloidal silver, and gold have benefits to our physical makeup. Yes, the thing is not ingest it directly. Be careful of what you ingest. Only people who are used to ingest things that what big pharma gives people and other type of things that they ingest, they are used to ingest. You need to be careful with what you're doing, what you're ingesting is what I'm saying. And if you are desensitized to that, well, you're warned. Thanks for listening.